Hashem that we're able to learn every morning. To continue. We're learning we shall do this Megillah immediately. And our four Shlema for Yechiel Nasan ben Sarah and David Halevi ben Menachem Lester, Avram Rachel ben Sarah. It goes like this. We're discussing how they each of the Amiraim would introduce the Megillah, what they would say as in their opening statement. So Rabbi Shua ben Levi, Pasuk LaPiskalai Parshas Mihacha. Rabbi Shua ben Levi, he opened this section with the following pasuk. It says, "Vayakash Hashem Aleichem lahiteveschem." This is in the Teichacha. Just as Hashem, the Teichacha starts with the blessings and then with the curses. Just as Hashem rejoiced when He did good to you, Ken Yasus Larala Esem. So He will rejoice. He will rejoice to do bad to you. Saying what's about the Teichacha. Where it says, "Michadi Hakadosh Baruch Hu b'mapalasan shel rishayim," as Hashem rejoice when the wicked are punished. But the pasuk says, "It says lifnei acholotz." It's talking about, was it Yeshio, one of the kings. It says when they were going to fight against Ammon and Moab. It says, "Vayimrim Haidel Hashem Kitayv." It doesn't say Kitayv. Haidel Hashem Kileilam Chastei. It says, praise to Hashem for His kindness is everlasting. Why doesn't it say Kitayv? Usually the pasuk says Haidel Hashem Kitayv, and it skips it. Why? But Bahidazu, it says Lefi Sheina Kadosh Baruch Hu Samach b'Mapalasan Shel Hashem, because Hashem doesn't rejoice with the downfall of the wicked. So V'amar Rabbi Yochanan, my Diksiv. Rabbi Yochanan also says, what's the meaning of the pasuk? This is in the sea, in the splitting of the sea. They didn't come close one to the other the whole night. Bikshu Malachi Ashar Slema Shira. The angels wanted to say a song, to sing. Amar Kadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem tells them, "My siyadei tevim bayam atamim shira." The work of my hands is drowning, and you're singing. It means even though it's the Egyptians that deserve to be punished, but Hashem doesn't. That's not a time for rejoicing. So that's our question. Why does it say Kein Yasis Laraschem? So Amar Rabbi Lazar explains this.
I feel like the Gemara asks the question: would Hashem be happy with Eden?
Yeah. But why does it say? Yeah, it's calling them Rishayim because this is part of the Teichacha that Hashem only brings it on the Teicha if they've sinned. The Teicha is because of the sin. And so it's all the more so. Even when it comes to the wicked, the Mitzrayim, Hashem doesn't rejoice by the downfall. So for sure,
all the more so, right?
That's what it sounds like. Amar Rabbi Lazar, hu ein asas, aval acherim mesis. Doesn't mean Cain Yasis that he will rejoice. It means that others will rejoice. But they can the ksiv Cain Yasis like ksiv Yasais. Yeah, I don't know the grammar to that, but it sounds like Yasis. What the Gemara is saying is that others will rejoice. Yasais would have meant that he himself will rejoice. Shema mina.
Says what?
Does Yasis mean like there will be rejoicing? Rabbi Abba Bar Kana. Okay. I'm sorry. Pasach la Piskalai Parsha Mihacha. He opens up Megillah, teaching the Megillah with this. It says, L'adam shetoiv lefanav, to the man that's good before him, that's nasan chachma v'das v'simcha. Hashem gives wisdom, understanding, and happiness. The pasuk concludes, and we'll see the conclusion in a moment. Zem Mardechai Tzaddik. That's referring to Mardechai Tzaddik, that he gets wisdom, understanding, and happiness. Lachaitei nasan inyan lasei felichnes. That's the end of the pasuk. And to the sinner, he gives him the job of gathering in the grain, which is ultimately to give to the tzaddik. Zeh Haman. Lasis toiv lefnei elikim, to give good before Hashem. Zeh Mardechai ve'Esther. That's referring to Mordechai and Esther. The Ksiv Tasim Esther is Mordechai al Beis Haman. That Esther placed Mordechai on the house of Haman. Yeah, so Mordechai gets the wisdom, Haman gathers in all the money, and then the point is for Mordechai to get it. That's what it seems. Rabba bar Oifran, Pasach la Pischalai Parsha Samihacha. Rabba bar Oifran. Yeah, it's people that were not Amirayim, that are not so common. He says like this: Samti kisi be'ilam v'avadati misham melech v'sarim. I will put my throne in Elam, and I will destroy from there kings and princes. Melech, kings, Zuvashti. It's referring to Vashti. V'sarim, and princes, ministers. Zeh Haman v'aser Banav. This is Haman and his 10 sons.
The king is Vashti?
Yeah, she was, it means the queen. Right, right. Rav Dimi bar Yitzchak, Pasach la Pischal lahai Parsha Miacha. He opened up Masechtas Megillah with the following: Ki avada manachnu v'avduseinu le'yazavnu elikenu v'yitlinu chesed l'fnei malchi paras. This is in Ezra, and this is Ezra giving his speech that we were servants, but nevertheless we didn't forsake our God, and He gave us kindness before the kings of Persia, and they let us come back to build and to.
It says God has not forsaken us. We have not forsaken God.
Ba'avduseinu layazavnu elokenu. Yeah, Hashem has not forsaken us. Okay, Hashem has not forsaken us. And
what was Elam?
where is Elam?
Yeah, is that Persia also? The previous one about Vashti.
Sounds like it.
It's a new place.
I don't know. Okay, so Amasai, when did this happen? Bisman Haman, that he gave us kindness. Azavanu. Amasai Bisman Haman. Yeah, on the side it says Bisman Mordechai. It's supposed to say Bisman Mordechai probably. In the days of Mordechai, Hashem showed us kindness. Rabbi Chanina bar Papa. Okay. Pasach la Pischalai Parsha Mihacha. He opens up the Masechtas Megillah with this. He rode man on our heads. Banu Beisha B'mayim. We came in fire and water. What is the fire? Beish. B'mei Nebuchadnezzar Russia. That's referring to that he threw them into the furnace. The Hanani Mishael Vazaria. Right? And B'mayim B'mei Pare. It's going backwards. Water in the days of Parva. Teitzeinu l'Ravaya took us out to abundance. B'mei Haman. That was in the days of Haman. Okay. Rabbi Yochanan Pasach la Pischalai Parsha Miacha. Rabbi Yochanan began the Masechtas Megillah with this. He says, Zachar Chastai v'Manasseh leBeis Yisrael. Remembers his kindness and his trustworthiness to the house of Israel. Ro kalaf se'aretz, all the edges of the earth. See, Yeshua Salakenu, the salvation of our God. Amasai ro kalaf se'aretz Yeshua Salakenu. When did the edges of the earth see the salvation of our God? B'mei Mordechai v'Esther. This pasuk took place in the days of Mordechai v'Esther, because everyone saw. When Rashi says the letters went out to the whole world. Rish Lakish pasach la Pischalai Parsha Miacha. He began like this. Rish Lakish. Ari Nayam. The lion roars. It's the name of the book. Ari Nayam. You're familiar with that? Yeah, a very controversial book from Yehuda Medina against Kabbalah. Ari Nayam. And then the Ramchal, the history of the Ramchal is with that, based on that book. Ramchal responded to it. Anyway, Arinayam, the lion roars. The whole everything.
Is it pronounced Noam or Noam?
Oh, probably know him. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Avidov Shekik. The bear is hungry. Lion roars, the bear is hungry. Maishal Rasha Alam Dal, and the wicked rules over the poor nation. Ari Nayim Zenebuchanetzar. The lion roars, that's Nebuchadnezzar, Rasha, Diksiv Bey, Allah Arye Misayfchai. What is Sayfchai? A lion comes up from his thicket. Yeah, let's stick it. Dave Shekek, the beer is hungry. Zachashverish, Diksiv Bey. This is Achashverish. It says, "Va'aru chiva achrei tinyana damya l'doiv." This is one of Daniel's dreams that after this animal gets up from the water, so then afterwards, behold, chivya achrei, another beast gets up. Tinyana, a second one. Damya l'doiv, it's similar to a bear. It's coming out of the water or something. B'tani Rabbi Yosef taught Elu Parsiim. This is referring to the Persians. Sha'ichlem v'sheisim kedayv. They eat and drink like a bear. Mesubalim bebasik kedayv. They are enclosed in fat like a bear. Megadlim seir kedayv. Their hair grows like a bear. Ve'in la menucha kedayv, and they also can't rest like a bear. They have no, they're not relaxed. Okay. Maishel Rasha, and after that it says the wicked rules. Zehaman Alam Dal, on the nation of the poor nation. Eli Yisrael Shem Dalam and mitzvahs. This is the Jewish people that are poor in mitzvahs. I guess during that time. Rabbi Elazar Pasachle Pischalai Parsha Mihacha. Rabbi Elazar opened up with this parsha, this section, with the following pasuk. Batsaltayim Yimach Hamikra. Because of laziness, the roof collapses. I guess maintenance. Okay. Beshiflas Yadayim Yidleif Abayas. Because of the lowness or idleness of the hands, the house leaks. Okay. Same message probably. B'shvil atzlos shayilem Yisrael, because of the laziness of the Jewish people, because they didn't toil in Torah. Nasu Saina Shala Kadosh Baruch Hu Mach. The enemy of Hashem becomes poor. Enemy of Hashem is a euphemism. It means really Hashem. It means Hashem is without salvation because we were not involved in Torah, so Hashem doesn't have the salvation for us. Vein machal ani. What does mach mean? It means poor. If the person doesn't have the money for the amount, the what was it called? The erchen, when the pledge. Vein mikara ella hakadosh baruch hu. The roof is referring to Hashem. Shnemar hamakara b'mayim al Yosef, that he roofs the upper parts with water. It means that he puts the
Clouds,
yeah
in the sky.
right. Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak pasuk la pisklai parsam yacher. Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak. I'm going to Bavel. We're jumping a few generations here. Yeah, Chanina bar Papa, we said was clearly not a son of the later of Papa. That we knew that. And so Rabbi Shua ben Levi, I can place as the early Amira, Rabbi Yochanan, Reish Lakish, Rabbi Lazar. Now we're jumping over to Bavel, the days of Rava. Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak. Paschal Epistlai Parsam Mihacha. It says Shira Malis, Song of Ascents. Luli Hashem Shayalanu. If not for Hashem being with us, Yermina Yisrael, the Jewish people say, Luli Hashem Shayalanu. Not for Hashem being with us, Bekum Aleinu Adam. When man rose up against us, Adam v'lei Melech. It was a man, but not a king, referring to Haman, that he rose up against us. Rava Paschal Episklai Parsa Meacha Rava opens a bit like this on the chart. Is Rava under of Nachman Bar Yitzchak or above? Yeah, Rava's above. So this is a little bit odd that Rava should come right after. All right. Rava Paschal Episklai Parsa. You see that? Rava's here, and Nachman Bar Yitzchak. That's Rava. Rava is with the aleph. Rabba's with the hey. The way to read. Yeah, the way to remember that Rabba's with hey is because Yehi Shmei Rabba. Okay. He starts like this. Beravais tzadikim yismacham. With the increase of tzadikim, the people rejoice. Mishal Rasha yenacham. And when the wicked person rules, everyone yenach sighs. What is it?
Mourns.
Mourns. Okay. Beravais tzadikim yismacham. When with the increase of tzaddikim, the nation rejoiced. And Mordechai Esther, this is referring to Mordechai and Esther, the tzaddikim. The ksiv, as the pasuk says, V'yer Shushan tzala v'samecha, that the city of Shushan was rejoicing. Mishal Rashi Yenacham, when the wicked rules, everyone mourns. The Haman, the ksiv, this is referring to Haman, as the pasuk says, V'yer Shushan navaycha, and the city of Shushan was in mourning. It was sad.
Who is this everyone? Is this?
Well, you're happy now.
I'm not surprised that you need a pasuk for this. Okay. Yeah.
They weren't sad because there was evil from the wood. They were sad because it was a decree to kill them all. That's the pasuk referring to. So if there was a decree there when the city should be killed, I don't think that pasuk would come in sad. Obviously.
Some people, I would think, would rejoice, like they're our enemy.
Right, that's also true.
Yeah.
Let's say the Jews of Shushan were behind the whole city of Shushan.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's referring to
I guess if you read between the lines.
See, usually when you have a king, even if he's like very selfish and all of this, but he does have some concern about the welfare of the country. You know, but private individuals have no concern about. They're not in that position. They're just out there for their own greed or whatever. So you have Haman stepping in to that. To Achashverosh, however bad Achashverosh was, but there was also a country and there were battles and there were, that could have been selfish, but there is a concern for the. Here, Haman is like has the full rights to everything. He could just there's no stand. There's nothing, right? Okay. Rav Masna Mehacha. Masna says from the following. Rav Masna was a student of Shmuel, I think. So now we're going back. Kimi Gadol Ashalaya Likim Krev Melav. Kimi Gadol. Who is this great nation that Hashem is close to them? Rav Ashi Amar Mehacha. Rav Ashi says the following. Ayanisa Likim. Hashem test to take one nation from another, right? To save the Jewish people. Okay. Now the Gemara starts reading the Megillah. We started it once before. We said Vayehi. It's a bad time. Now we say Vayehi b'mei Achashverosh. Amar Rav. Vay vihi. Woe and mourning. Though the ksiv is referring to the pasuk. You'll be sold to your enemies as slaves and servants. The pasuk says, yeah.
Yeah, I guess we engaged in commerce.
And then it says, and no one will buy you. Yeah. So this is saying that there was like several problems here. To buy and there's also mourning. Shmuel Amar, Shmuel says, Lemastim, you won't be rejected. Like Altim, you won't be disgusted. Lechalesam, to destroy you, to destroy them. Lemastim, you won't be rejected. Bimei Yevanim, in the days of the Greek. Like Altim, you won't be disgusted. Bimei Nebuchadnezzar, lechalesam, to be destroyed. Bimei Haman, in the days of Haman. Lahafer brisitam, to annul my covenant with you. Bimei Parsiim, in the days of the Persians. Ki ani Hashem Elokeichem, I am Hashem your God. Bimei Gog uMagog, in the days of Gog uMagog. Gog uMagog was the who was the king and who was the nation? It's not a war between Gog and Magog, as they told me in school. It's apparently a nation with its king. But I think the nation is called Gog and the king is called Magog.
That the US.
Yeah. World War II.
Yeah. Yeah, in school they told me that there's going to be a battle between Gog and Magog. That's what they told me, and then I looked it up in the pasuk. It's not what it said. It was a nation and its king are going to go to battle against everyone else. Okay, b'masnisitana, stood in a brisa, le'ma'astim, you won't be rejected. B'mei kastim, that's in the days of the Kastim, the Chaldeans. Shamarati lem Daniel, because I set up Daniel. Hanani, Mishael, Azariah, they were there. Legaltim, you won't be disgusted. Because I set up Shimon HaTzadik was there in the days of the Greeks. The Greeks, I guess Alexander and the Chashmonaim and Matisyahu Kohen Gadol. L'chalaisam, to destroy them, that's Bimei Haman. In the days of Haman, Shamarit le Mordechai Esther, because you had Mordechai and Esther. Lafi brisiitam, to annul my covenant with them. Bimei Parsiim. Actually, on the side it says Bimei Raimium, in the days of the Romans. That fits better. Shamariti lem shall base Rebbe v'chachmi doros, because I set up Rebbe and the sages. Yeah, that they were respected. Keni Hashem Elokeichem, because I am Hashem God lasud lavei. In the future, that no nation will be able to rule over you. Reb Levi Amar Mehacha. Reb Levi says from here, if you don't drive out the people of the land. Now this is a reference to Shaul with Amalek, because Amalek was still around and it could have driven them out. So if you don't drive out the people of the land, so then you have problems. Yeah, big decisions. Reb Chia Amar Mehacha. Chia says from the following: as I intended to do lahem to you, to them, esa lachem I will do to you. Achash, okay. That means that they were almost punished, almost, right? What's this page over here? Okay, now it's a new piece. Achashverosh, the grads in. Vayhibi me Achashverosh. Amarav. Oh, the gra has a whole different gears over here. The gra has that other Vayhibi me Achashverosh over here as well. That's what he's doing. Amarav. Rav says Achiv Shel Rosh. The name Achashverosh is Ach Shel Rosh. Is the brother of the head. Who Ben Gili Shel Rosh. And he has the character, or the Ben Gili means the same constellation. The character of the head. What does that mean? Achiv Shel Rosh is the brother of the head. He's Achiv Shel Nebuchadnezzar Rasha. Shenikar Rosh. He's a brother of Nebuchadnezzar. It means probably in style. That's called the head. Shenemar Antu Reisha Didahava. You're the head of gold in that Nebuchadnezzar's dream, right? With that image with all the different materials. Ben Gili Shel Rosh, he's the character of the head. Who harag, he kills. Who bikish larag, he wants to kill. Who hecher, he destroys. Who bikish lacher, he wants to destroy. talking about the comparison like this. Who harag, that means Nebuchadnezzar killed, and who bikish larag, and Achashverosh wants to. So that's the comparison.
Didn't
Who?
Achashverosh overthrow Nebuchadnezzar? Don't. Like it was a completely different empire or dynasty, I think.
Yeah, somewhere in the middle. Officially, Achashverosh is the son of Daryavish. Yeah, we'll see. So, that's the comparison here to Nebuchadnezzar. Nebuchadnezzar does, and he wants to. Achashverosh wants to. Shenemar b'malchus Achashverosh b'tchilas malchusai kasva sitna al Yeshve Yehuda v'Yerushalayim. The days of Achashverosh, they wrote accusation against the Jewish people, against the people of Yehuda and Yerushalayim. That means he wants to destroy. What does it mean he wants to destroy? Where did Achashverosh want to destroy anything? It says because at the beginning of Achashverosh's rule, they stopped the construction of the temple because of accusation that they made against the people of Yehuda. Shmuel says that the name Achashverosh comes from the word Shehushcharu Pneim Shel Yisrael. It comes from the word black. That the faces of the Jewish people became black, the Yamav in his days, Kashuli Kader, like the bottom of a pot. Yeah, Shuli Kader we had recently, the bottom of a pot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was earlier in this Masechta.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Write it down. We'll get it in 7 years. Rabbi Yochanan says, why is his name Achashverosh? Kol shezeicher, anyone that reminds himself of Achashverosh. Amar, ach l'reishi, I have a headache. Ach l'reishi. Ach is like, it's like, ouch. Right? That's in the English, you spelled ach as ouch. Rabbi Chanina Amar, shakal nas in Russian biyamav. Rabbi Chanina says everyone became poor in his days. Shenema v'yasam hamelech Achashverosh mas. He imposed a tax. There must have been a heavy tax. Everyone was poor. So, Rush, Achashverosh. I guess he's accepting the first part as well. Oh. Interesting. There must have been a huge tax to support all of those parties and battles and this. Yeah, why'd it come in the last pasuk is what you're asking. In the last pasuk of the Megillah, it says that he put a tax on everyone.
That was all right.
But that could be just like an old, like, yeah, what was going on. Right.
Rachavon.
Right.
Exactly, yeah.
Who Achashverosh? This is Achashverosh. When it says this is, so we're going to say Hu Berishim Mitchilas Avad Seifai. Say this is Achashverosh. She was wicked from the beginning to the end. Who Esav? Hu Berishim Mitchilas Avad Seifai. It's another pasuk. This is Esav from the beginning to the end. He was wicked from the beginning to the end. What's the rest of that pasuk? Yeah, in the new Gemaras, it should be over there. Check where who Esav. Avi Adam. Who is Avi Adam? Okay, good. Who dasan va'aviram? This is dasan va'aviram. Hein berishim mitchilas mad seifan. They were wicked from beginning to end. Who hamelach Achaz? Who berishim mitchilas vad seife? He was wicked from the beginning to the end. Achaz. Avram. Who Avram? This is in Divrei Hayamim. It says Avram is Avraham. Who betzidkai mitchilas vad seife? He was righteous from beginning to end. Who Aaron and Moshe? This is this week's parsha, I think. No, is it this week or next week? This is Aaron and Moshe. Hein betzidkan mitchilas vad seifan. This is, they were righteous from beginning to end. But David who akatan, and David is the small one. Who bekatnusa mitchilas vad seife? He was small, that means humble, from beginning to end. Just like when he was young, he made himself small in front of someone that was more greater than him in Torah. Even when he was a king, he made himself smaller in front of someone else that was wiser. Hamelech, we're going further in the pasuk, word for word. Hamelech, Amarav, Shemalach me'atzmai. Rav says that, the way Rashi puts it, Shleihai mizera malucha. Rashi says he wasn't a descendant of the king. He was not royalty. He made himself king.
So then he wasn't.
Then he wasn't, right? Yeah. There is a possibility. I saw a note in that Quran that what it means is that he wasn't the oldest son. Yeah. But Rashi doesn't say that. Yeah. Rashi says.
Yeah, I see the note.
Uh-huh.
Down the tradition in Persia that he was orphaned as a child and raised by wolves.
Uh-huh.
Of course.
Disabled. He took care of the horses' manure.
Uh-huh.
Somehow he himself married the king's daughter.
Uh-huh.
It's in that book.
Okay. There's some say that this is in a praiseworthy way, and some say for negative. Say that there was no one that was a better, more worthy to be the king than Achashverosh, even though he wasn't royalty. Some say for shame. He wasn't worthy to be the king at all. He just had a lot of money, and he paid his way in. No one say any comments. Mehaidu vad Kush. From Haidu till Kush. Rav Shmuel. Okay, we're continuing in the pasuk. It says he ruled from Haidu till Kush. Machlekes Rav and Shmuel. Chadamar Haidu b'seif Eilam v'Kush b'seif Eilam. One says that Haidu sounds like India and Kush sounds like Ethiopia, very far apart. Right. Right. One says that Haidu and Kush were actually very close. Must be two other places. But they still, the intention is the same. That just like they ruled over Haidu and Kush, he ruled over the host. And you go around the other way. Right. Right. But maybe it meant like he ruled over the whole world the way he ruled over these two places that was easy to rule over because they were close. Right. Right. The question is, there probably is, see, Haidu and Kush. Kush is Ethiopia. It's, and Haidu would be India, which is easy. But there may have been a Haidu tribe somewhere, and there's a Kush tribe somewhere that was like right near, there could be other places that we're not familiar with, something like that. Similarly, we say, that Shlomo HaMelech ruled over the other side of the river from Tiftach to Laza. Rav Shmuel, it's Machlekes Rav and Shmuel here as well. See, when there's a lot of times with the Machlekes Rav and Shmuel, it doesn't tell us who holds what. One of them said that Tiftach is at the end of the world and Az is at the other end of the world. Another one says that they were very close. And it's just telling me the way that he ruled. That just like he had full control over these two places that are close together, he had control over the whole world. Sheva v'esrim u'mei Medina, we're continuing in the pasuk. 127 countries. Amar Rav Chizda. Rav Chizda says, B'tchila malach al Sheva. First he ruled over 7. B'seif malach al esrim. Ooh, then he has 20. B'seif malach al meya, and at the end he had 100. Yeah, the pshat. Sheva, v'yesrim, umeya, he's working his way up. But there was no 127 according to this. There was 100. That's where he got to. Elamiyata, the Gemara asks on Rav Chizda, oh yeah? Go figure this one out.
Yeah.
Amram lived 7, 30, and 100 years. How are you going to say that? First he lived 7, then he lived 30, then he lived 100. So it says, Shani Hachad Dekra Yisero. Says, well, that pasuk was an extra pasuk, so I read it like in a drush way, not the literal. Michti.
So it's a lot of people.
When she passed away, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, interesting is by Sarah it says, Yuchai Sarah, Ma'ashrana 127. It doesn't work. You can't live 100 years, then 20, then 7. I understand, but that we're working up, right? Yeah, there's a big question why by one of them it says, by Achashverosh it says 7, 20, and 100. It's the same number. Meya Shana, Esrim Shana B'Sheva. By Sarah it says 120 and 7, and by Achashverosh it says Sheva V'Esrim Meya.
Sometimes I think historians break it up like that because each of their progeny, they rule over a certain period of time and they all connote it to like the same person. Yeah. I'm saying that I think he had like children. Was it Darius or something?
So they divided it up afterwards?
Maybe. I just think so. Maybe.
To 7, 20, and 100. So it gets divided later into portions, and when they put the number, they divide it up by the way the number was divided.
Oh.
Could be. Yeah. 7. What was the song? 7 and 20 blackbirds baked in a pan. Instead of 27, it's 7 and wasn't it? 7 and 20. Yeah. Okay. So Michti Ksiv Mehaiduvad Kush. My grandmother would sing that. Yeah. So it says Mehaiduvad Kush Shevester Mumea Medina Lamali. Why do I need 127? You already told me from where to where. So Shema Minol Drasha, it's coming to tell me a drasha. Okay. What's the drasha? That it was first 7, then 20, then 100. Taner Rabbanan. Rabbis taught Shleishim Malcha B'Kippah. There's 3 people that ruled over the whole Kippah.
Wow.
The dome. Kippah is like the whole earth. Ve'elohein. They are Achav. Supposed to be
The one flat earth is
4 and 20 blackbirds
4 and 20 blackbirds.
baked in a pie. When the pie was opened, the birds began to sing. Wasn't that a dainty dish that's set before the king?
Oh, what a lyric.
I don't remember 4 and 20.
Yeah.
I don't remember 4 and 20. No, it's Google doesn't know. The reason why you do
has their own version.
no, the reason why you search
The
reason why you search Google is just to see if they got it right.
They did.
This wasn't just one, it's a historical reason.
Oh no. Oh no.
Uh-huh.
No.
No, because here it's saying that there's reasons
To
for
the
the
next page.
numbers. So over here it says, the blackbirds representing the quiet.
Oh, boy. Oh, no, Dr. Sen, later, sir.
Oh, really?
Later.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Take his phone
Okay.
away from him.
That's very interesting.
This reason.
Yeah.
I got Brookish.
And you just
So
said-
Achav, Nebuchadnezzar, and Achashverosh. Achav, the Ksiv, Chai Hashem Alekechem Yesh Goyu Mamlacha Sheli Shalach Adoni Shem Levak Keshcha. Well, how do you read it? This is talking about Avadia is telling Eliyahu that my king was, my master was searching for you. There isn't a country that he didn't look in to find you, because Eliyahu disappeared by that famine, right? If Achav didn't rule over them, how could he say that my master looked in every country? Nebuchadnezzar, any nation, kingdom that did not put that his neck was not under the yoke of the king of Bavel. Okay. And Achashverosh, Hadamar, Achashverosh we already spoke about. Okay, start off the page. Siman Shasrach. These are going to be 4 kings. What do you have? You have a different? Oh, Shastach. Yeah, I have an old Gemara. So these are the kings that are, but it's with a dalet. These are the kings that we're going to talk about here, which is Shlomo, Sancherev, Dayavish, and Koresh. It says, okay, now Vasuleka. Those are the only kings that ruled over the whole world. Taisvus, by the way, asked on the bottom, what happened to Alexander? That would have been the most obvious. It says we're looking for ones that are written in the Torah. Alexander wasn't written in the Torah. It says Vika Shlomo. What about Shlomo? Shlomo ruled over the whole. We just said Achashverosh, Achav, Nebuchadnezzar. It says Leisalek Malchusei. He didn't complete his kingdom. He wasn't king his whole life. The Gemara says Melech Vehediyat. There's a machlekes over there. Where is it? Gittin. What happened to Shlomo Melech? Yeah, Ashmedai took over. And did Shlomo Melech ever get it back? So if he didn't get it back, the chicken feet, right? If he didn't get it back, so then we understand why we didn't count Shlomo. No, Ashmedai was a demon and an imposter that made himself, he looked like Shlomo, and the only way to tell that he wasn't was from the feet. So he said chicken feet. So, but he wore shoes. So Elamandam Melech Vehediyat Melech. See, Eli, very nice. But according to the opinion of Melech Vehediyat Melech, that Shlomo Melech came back.
Right.
He made his way back and he took over the kingdom again. Ma'ayek Lameimar, there's a happy ending, right? Ma'ayek Lameimar, so then why wasn't Shlomo counted? The Gemara says Shlomo Milsachrit Avibei, he had a different whole story. Shemalach al Yenav al Tachtainim, he ruled over even the upper worlds, even ruled over the demons. Shenemar Vayashav Shlomo al Kisei Hashem, he sat on the throne of Hashem. That means he doesn't go into the list with the others. Vahavi Sancherev. What about Sancherev? The Ksiv Mi B'chol Elikei Aratzi Seila Sheritzilu Esartzim. Probably, yeah. Who is from which gods of the other?
When we say Shlomo ruled over the demons, is it because, like, when you rule over the Yetzer Hara, or the Supreme, it's such a high level that
Yeah, it sounds like the second way. Sounds like the second way. That Hashem made him king over. He had control over the winds and the things and the birds and it summoned them. Yeah. So, who from all the gods of the lands that's going to be saved from my hand? This is Sancherev talking. It means he ruled over the whole world. No one could save their country. The Gemara says, well, he didn't make it to Yerushalayim. Remember the 185,000 soldiers? He didn't make it. Diksiv Dayavish Malka, Kasav L'Kol Maya Umavalishna, Didarin B'chol Ara, Shlam Chanyaske. Dayavish, the king, wrote to all the nations and the languages and that were in the land. He said, a lot of peace, much peace. So he says, well, there were 7 that he didn't rule over. The Ksiv, Shfar Kadam Daryavish, was good in front of Daryavish. V'hekem al Malchusa, he established on his kingdom, Lachashtar Panaya, Meyav Esrim, to the satraps, 120. Aha. Where's the 7? Where's the 100? Achashverosh, the son, possibly, had another 7. So okay, so he didn't rule the whole world. Vika Kairish, what about Kairish? Cyrus, right? The Ksiv Kayamar Kairish Melech Pras Kol Mamluchayis Nasam Hashem. He says, so says Kairish, the king of Persia, that all the kingdoms of the world God has given to me. It says, well, one second. Over there, he's talking. He's just boasting. That doesn't mean that he really rules the whole world. It's himself talking. Okay, we're continuing in the Megillah, reading the Psukim.
Did Sancherib
We get as far as we get. We're going to end in the middle, but it's a whole calculation. So on Sunday we'll have to redo it. But let's go further. Yeah, but Yom Mahaim, in those days, Kesheves Hamelech, sounds like at the beginning of the king's sitting. Tzib Basrei, afterwards it says B'shna Shalish L'Malchai. It says in the 3rd year of his kingdom. So is it at the beginning or is that in the 3rd year? Amarava Mai Kesheves. What does it mean Kesheves? La'achash in Esyash V'daita Yom, after his mind settled, he said Balshetzer Chashavita Balshatzar. Right? He made a calculation, but he made a mistake. I'm going to make a calculation and I'm not going to make a mistake. I didn't make a mistake. Maihi, what was the mistake of Balshatzar? The Ksiv, because it's written, Kilafil Maispavel Shivim Shana Efgedeschem. In Yirmiyah, it says that at the end of 70 years, I'll remember of Bavel, I'll remember you. Ksiv, Lamales Lacharavis Yerushalayim Shivim Shana, to fill to the ruins of Yerushalayim for 70 years. To return to the ruins of Yerushalayim after 70 years. So it goes, Belshazzar's calculated like this. Calculate 45 years of Nebuchadnezzar's rule. The Esrim, it classed a Vil Meradach. I forgot what a Vil Meradach meant. A brother or something. It meant something positive. 23 years of a Vil Meradach, that's Nebuchadnezzar's son. Day, and then 2 years of Belshazzar. So it's 45 and 23. 68 plus 2 is 70. So he says, Hashivim, 70 years, perfect. Let's take out the vessels from the temple. They're not being redeemed. We could use them. It's all over, right? How do we know Nebuchadnezzar was 45 years? It says Damar Mar, because the master said Galo b'sheva, Galo b'shmeina, Galo b'shmeina esrei, Galo b'teish esrei. Yeah, it throws us into this huge confusion. It says they were exiled in the 7th year, they were exiled in the 8th year, they were exiled in the 18th year, and they're exiled in the 19th year. Galo b'sheva l'kibush yachim, l'hayakim. They were exiled in the 7th year because what happened was in the 2nd year of Nebuchadnezzar, Yehoiakim, the king of Yehuda, was that territory was conquered by Nebuchadnezzar. Now, 7 years later, is Golus Yehoiachin. The exile of Yehoiachin took place. Yehoiachin is taken away. It's 7 years from Yehoiakim, but it's 8 years from Nebuchadnezzar, because Yehoiakim that territory was conquered 1 year after he ruled, so it's the 8th year. They were exiled in the 18th year. That was the 18th year. L'kibush Yehoiachim was Golus Tzidkio, was the exile of Tzidkio, which is Teish Esrei Nebuchadnezzar, which is the 19th of Nebuchadnezzar. Damar Mar, because it was taught in a Brisa Shana Rishani Kibush Ninveh. The 1st year of Nebuchadnezzar, he conquered Ninveh. That's Assyria. Shnia, the second year, Kivish Yayakim, he conquers Jerusalem. It was in the 37th year of the exile of Yehoiachin, which is 8 years into his kingdom. Melech Yehuda, in the 12th month, on the 28th of the month, Evil Meradach, the king of Bavel, got up. No, he took off, he killed, right? Nasa Evil Meradach Melech Bavel, B'shnas Malchus Yisrael Yachin Melech Yehuda. No, not he killed. He took him out. Vayetzes, and basically took him out of prison. The king of Yehuda was in prison, and he takes him out, and Evil Meradach takes him out. Now, this is in the 37th year of the exile. That means how long was Nebuchadnezzar? Because we're saying that now is Evil Meradach was the son. So Tamni Utlasin 38 plus Vesheva, Hariyabam V'chamish to Nebuchadnezzar. That's already 45 years. V'asrin Utlas the Evil Meradach, that is a tradition, that's a Gemara. V'tarti Didei Hashivin, Amar Hash, that's 70. Amar Hash Vadai, he says now, Sulei Mifrake, they're not going to be redeemed. Apik mane de beimakdisha, let's take out the vessels, Vishtamish, we'll use them. Haine de Kamalei Daniel, that's what Daniel says, Valmari Shmaya Sreimamta. You lift yourself up over the masters of the heaven, Lamani de Beise Hayisif Kadmach, and you use the vessels in front of you. Ksiv Bei Balayla Katal Balshatzar Malka Kastoya. That night, Belshazzar was killed. Ksiv the Yavish Mada Kibal Malchuse Kibar Shnin Shitin Bitarti. And Daryavish took over the kingdom when he was 62 years old. Amar Iyumata Toi. So now this is Achashverosh talking. It says, Belshazzar made a mistake. I'm going to calculate and not make a mistake. Okay, we'll have to finish that. What about the Achashverosh, how he calculated? Okay. Good Shabbos.
See you in Jerusalem.